Tonight's practice is a kind of practice that's designed specifically to help you manage sinus kind of headaches. You know those headaches that come kind of like a dull pain across your forehead, or the kind of headache you feel across your sinus cavities? The prevailing energy of this kind of headache is what's known as kapha, which is this sort of heavy, weighted, it's sometimes described as being the energy of the earth mixed with energy of water. We've got two breath practices that we're going to do tonight. One breath practice I bet some of you are familiar with. It's called Kapalabhati, and this breath is sometimes called the skull shining breath. It's a series of really kind of forceful exhalations. We're going to do it really slow, so we're not going to do that kind of weird hyperventilating breath that you sometimes can see if you see someone demonstrating this. We're going to do a very slow Kapalabhati, and we're going slow so that we can double check, is this helping my headache? Or is this making it worse? And of course, if it's the making it worse side, we're going to abandon it. The other kind of breath that we're practicing tonight is called the Bromani breath, and sometimes this is called the buzzing breath or the bee breath. And I'll describe it if you haven't done this one. Perhaps maybe you're less familiar with this one. But this is kind of a buzzing sound, a sort of humming sound that we make with the breath. And the idea is that it sort of shakes up the sinus cavities to kind of clear out what's in there. And then we've got two restorative poses to finish out our practice today with a little bit of movement in between. So you do need a bunch of props. Most of you are here for the live stream, have already gathered what you need. 4 blankets, blankets or towels could work, a bolster or some bed pillows, and a couple of blocks. All right, let's get started with this work. The cross-legged seats are looking fantastic. You can sit any way that will let you feel a little more stable. And if you need to move to a chair, that is totally fine. Close your eyes for just a moment and direct your attention to your head. Especially direct your attention to the front of your forehead, across the bridge of your nose, or in your cheeks. And take a couple of breaths in and out of your nose. Just see if you can notice what's the quality of the air moving in and out of your nose. Do you feel pressure in your sinuses right now? Such a big part of what we're exploring in this series of classes are the tools. Adding some things to our toolkit that we might lean back into later on to help us relieve pain when we feel it in our head. But these tools are also preventative. So maybe you don't have this kind of sinus pressure right now, but this could help ward it off. What's your intention for this practice tonight? Join up your palms together in front of your heart. Just remind yourself why you're here for this class, why you've participated in this series. At the heart of our yoga practices is a desire to relieve our suffering. Sometimes that suffering is small, kind of like the itchy tag in a shirt. Or other times that suffering takes a bigger feel, like the kind of migraine pain or sinus headache we feel in certain seasons. If what's happening here on the yoga mat works, then the practice is success. Let your intention land around this idea of removing the suffering and the discomforts, of learning tools that can help you clear away these discomforts when they arise, even if you aren't feeling them right now. When we sing Om, we tap into an energy that's universal and collective. We sing not just to access this energy, but to honor the ritual and the traditions of yoga add your voice to mine, or of course you could just listen. Everyone please exhale your breath all the way out. Then breathe in. Release your hands into your lap. Keep your gaze soft as you blink open your eyes. Okay, refresh your seat here. So I'm just going to switch to sit and kneeling. You might want to do that too, but you could also just switch the cross of your legs, or if you need to sit up on a chair at this point, that's totally good too. We're going to start with this little kind of sinus tapping thing. Again, the bellwether for all of this work is it helping? And if your answer is yes, then keep going. But if it's not helping, if it's making anything worse, then just stop and have a few moments to focus on your breath. I'm just going to take my glasses off because I have a hard time getting to the right spot when my glasses are on. The place that you're tapping here today is across your brow, so just above your eyebrow, and underneath your eyes, like just across the sinus cavity at your cheeks. So the tapping goes with 2 fingers, index finger and second finger, and it's just a light little tap. Like a nice little consistent like bump, 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 right? Okay, so we're gonna do that a few times. So bring your fingers, it's usually dominant hand, but you could choose whichever hand you want. My dominant hand is my right hand. So you're gonna start on the outside edge of your right eyebrow, just above your eyebrow, and go tap, 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 tap. And then move a little bit towards the middle, so you're gonna tap right above the center of your eye. Then move closer to your nose. Keep this really consistent tapping. Tap, 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 tap. Move in between your eyes, the top of your nose. And over towards your left eye. Stay close to the inner edge of your eye. Move to the middle, just above the center of your left eye. Move down to the outside of your left eyebrow. Then drop below your left eye on your cheek. Move underneath the center of your eye. Move to the left side of your nose. Move to the right side of your nose. Move to the inner edge of your right eye. Center just below your right eye. Move to the outside of your right eye on your cheek. Then release your hands down into your lap and close your eyes. And just see how you feel. So if you're up for trying that little tapping again, we're going to do it one more time. We'll start on the other side this time. If that does not feel good for you, if you're doing this tapping and you're like, oh, this is making my headache way worse, then don't do it. Let your hands just rest in your lap and focus on your breath. If you're coming with me for a second round of tapping, bring your right hand over above your left eyebrow on the outer left edge and tap. Move above your left eye, center of your eye on your brow. Move to the inside edge of your left eye, to the inner edge of above your eyebrow. Then between your eyes, very top of your nose. Move to the right eye, inside edge above your eyebrow. Above your right eye, just in the middle. Then to the outside edge of your right eye, above your eyebrow. Drop down below your eye, stare on your cheek, to the outside edge. Then center of your eye on the right side. Inside edge. Tap on the inside edge of your nose on the right side. Move to the inside edge of your left nose, left side of your nose. Then a little more to the left, below your eye on the inner edge. Then to the center of your left eye. Then to the outside edge of your left eye. Okay, drop your hands onto your lap, close your eyes, and have one of those feel what you feel moments. Take a couple of breaths and see if that made any difference in the way the breath feels as it's moving in and out of your nose. Okay, if you close your eyes, keep your gaze soft as you blink open your eyes. If you were like me and took your glasses off for the tapping, you could put them back on. The breath practice that's next is called Bromani, and this breath practice will sound kind of like a hum or a buzz of a bee. The breath practice here works on the exhalation. So when you exhale, you just make a humming sound in your mouth. But after you start the hum, you begin to press your tongue up onto your upper palate. So you're pressing at like the back of your tongue. You're trying to like press the back of your tongue up into your soft palate. If you push too hard, it will cut off the humming sound. If you push to the just right amount, the vibration will change. You'll feel it and hear it at like kind of a different frequency. So let's give it a try. We're gonna do it 3 times. It will just be humming on the exhale, and then you take a normal inhale, and then you hum on the exhale, normal inhale, 3rd time, hum, and relax. And then we'll check out how it feels. Okay, easy seat. Close your eyes or turn your gaze downward. Close your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. And as you exhale, hum. Breathe in when you get to the end of the hum. Did you remember to press your tongue into your palate? Breathe in. Exhale and hum, and press your tongue into your upper palate. Release when the exhale is out and breathe in. And hum. And then relax. Close your eyes if they weren't closed already. Feel the impact of that humming. Especially notice if it changes the way your breath moves, or if it changes the way that you feel the pressure in your head. If you were like, oh, that was terrible, I hated that feeling, then don't do it anymore. Just focus on a plain old easy breath. Or if it was interesting and you want to try it again, come with me for another round of 3. Close your eyes or turn your gaze downward. Close your mouth, breathe in through your nose. Exhale and hum. Breathe in and hum. Breathe in, one more exhale with the hum. your gaze soft as you blink open your eyes. The idea behind both the tapping and the Bromani breath is that it shakes up the stagnant stuff in our sinus cavities. And that shaking up, or that sort of getting rid of the stuff that's collected there, then it needs a way to release. And Kapalabhati is the way to release it. So you might want to have a tissue nearby, especially if you're feeling like you've got some snot or stuff in your nose, because a little bit of that sort of smush will come out sometimes when we're doing the exhalation. You're also welcome to adjust your seat. If you've been sitting in the same way for this whole time and you want to make a shift, maybe you'll go to cross-legged, or maybe you'll stretch your legs out front. This is a good time to readjust your seat. If you have not done Kapalabhati, a quick primer. This is a fast exhalation and a very passive inhalation. The exhalation is mostly powered by a push at your diaphragm. I like doing this with hand on belly. If you put your hand on your belly, you'll be able to feel the pump that happens when you push the breath out. We're gonna go super slow. We're gonna like exhale and then take a break or take a pause and just feel, and then exhale and then take a little break to feel. And at any time, if this is making your head feel worse, stop. Okay, let's do it. You can put one or even both hands on your belly if you like. Take your gaze down, or even close your eyes. Take a regular plain old breath in, and then short, forceful exhalation out. It's an exhale out through your nose, right? And then just relax for the inhale. Maybe you'll relax for an exhale, just feel what that felt like. And then we'll try it again. Breathe in. Exhale short and fast. Breathe in. Short, fast exhale. We're gonna take this super slow pace, and I'll just cue your exhales. Exhale. 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 Okay, relax your hands. Close your eyes. Feel what's happening with your breath. Notice what's happening with your head. You know, I have this thing where I go, is it better? Is it worse? Or is it no different? If it's better or no different, we'll try it again. But if you're like, whew, way worse, then you're just gonna sit and breathe super easy. If you found that Bromani breath was helpful, you could go back to that, or just allow your gaze to turn down and be soft and easy while you're breathing. Okay, if you're coming with me for another round of this, Kapalabhati, let's go again. Hands to belly or not, you pick if that feels good for you. Close your eyes or turn your gaze downward. Breathe in through your nose. Exhale. 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 Release your hands into your lap. Close your eyes. Be easy with yourself and notice. Better? Worse? No different. Take a big, full breath in through your nose. As you exhale, open your mouth and have a sigh. Keep your gaze soft. If your eyes were closed, blink open your eyes. So that movement of breath, that work we are doing in those pranayama practices, the idea is to use the breath to help clear out the pressure in our head. but there's also a bigger kind of stagnation that often comes with these kinds of headaches, and it's a feeling that our whole body feels a little heavy. Sometimes it comes around like feeling tired or lethargic in your body. Yoga is extra good at giving us ways to kind of shake up that sort of stagnant energy. So we're gonna move a little bit here on our yoga mat. We're gonna start in all fours. If you're not putting your hands, weight on your hands for whatever reason, you can put your hands on the back of the chair. You could even do this work from seated. Just a bit of cat and cow work, right, to move through our spine. So if you're coming to all fours like I am, feel free to use one of those 7,000 blankets to pad up your knees. When you inhale, lift your chest, press your collarbones forward. Make a big deep curve in your low back. When you exhale, round your spine and push your hips back towards your heels in the direction of a child's pose. Inhale, table to cow. Exhale, cat to child. Take a few like this. Inhale, table to cow. Exhale, cat to child. No stress, no strain, super easy, fluid movements. Notice how your body feels. Do you feel that kind of heavy feeling that's sometimes associated with kapha, that's sometimes associated with sinus pressure or allergy headaches? Could you just imagine here that the movement you're doing with your body is helping to shake up in a gentle way and clear out all the stuff that has collected and inflamed your sinuses? Do 2 more rounds like this. The next time you come back to all fours, start to swing your hips from side to side. Move your rib cage from right to left. Let your head follow. See if you can have these very gentle stretches, a little open up down the side of your body from your shoulders to your hips. And then shift all the way back into your child's pose again. You can open your knees a little wider so that you can actually rest your head down on the mat, or even if that means your head still isn't resting, try adding your block or your blanket under your head. And then adjust the position of your head so the skin of your forehead is going down towards your eyes. It's just a tiny little shift. And just take a breath, take a moment to feel what that feels like. Then make that same little shift, but in the opposite direction. Shift the skin of your forehead upward. Kind of like if you were about to raise your eyebrows at someone. And just feel what that feels like. These little shifts with the skin of your forehead are very subtle and small, but I wonder if you notice a difference. Try it again. Shift the skin of your forehead against the floor so that the skin of your forehead is pushing down towards your eyes, kind of like making your eyes close a little more. And then shift the skin of your forehead upward like you're raising your eyebrows at someone, and just see if you can feel a difference between those two things. Just do it one more time. Shift the skin of your eyes, your eyebrows down. And then shift the skin of your forehead, of your eyes up. Okay, walk your hands back towards your knees. Bring your torso upright. Take one of your blocks and put it on the second height. That's going to be the block that goes at the highest point of this pose, right? Ultimately under your head. The next block goes on the low side, and you're going to fit those together like a T shape. Now, if you're using books here, you will have to arrange your books in the way that makes sense. And if you're using pillows, you might want, instead of blocks, you're gonna put one pillow here, and then you're gonna stack your other pillows on top. If you're using a bolster like I have, the bolster goes on top of the blocks, so you're creating this kind of ramp. So if you're using bed pillows and you've got two of them on the blocks, you would stack your bed pillows one on top of the other. So you're gonna create a two pillowed ramp for yourself. Then one of your 4 blankets or towels, fold that over to make an extra layer for under your head. The prevailing idea here is that your head is the highest point of this whole setup. Then you need 2 of your blankets, which should be like as similar as you can get. So, you know, if you've got 2 towels that kind of match or 2 blankets that kind of match, this is a great time to use the 2 blankets that are the most similar. And roll those up. I like opening them and rolling them on the long side, but you can decide. These are gonna be the supports for your legs. If you're not sure, come with me and roll them up on the long side, so you end up having 2 kind of skinny rolled up blankets. I know some of you already know your preference for this leg setup, so you're probably already ahead of me. Once you have those 2 rolls set up, you're gonna put one to either side of where you're gonna sit. And then the 3rd blanket, or the 4th blanket I should say, this is the blanket that probably requires the most direction from me, and I'm gonna show you sitting up so that you can see what happens. So I've got my blanket folded over so that there's this little kind of gap here. You see what I mean? It's got like the 2 ends of the blanket, and then I've created almost like a little cradle here. And so that little cradle is gonna create a kind of sling for one of my arms. The idea with this little sling is that when you lie down, your arms will be held up by the blanket. So then the other arm, it's easier once you're lying down, but I was trying to show you when I was sort of sitting upright. The other arm gets tucked around and clasps down on the blanket, and then you can tuck it around once you're down there. So the game here is that your arms are held up, they're not dangling anywhere down off of the edge. Okay, at least you have a preview. I'll show you once we get down there. Okay, to set up into the pose, sit with your hips all the way back against the bolster. Not on it, but really close. No gap between your pelvis and the bolster or your pillows. Put your feet flat onto the floor with your knees bent. And then position your rolled up blankets. They're gonna support from your ankles all the way up to your outer hips. Once you've done that, join the soles of your feet together and tuck your blankets in even more so that your legs are really quite high. Now you can lie down and bring your folded blanket on top of your body, so you'll be able to slip your arms in once you're ready at that stage. Set up your head so that the blanket is squished in all around your neck, all around the sides of your head. And then slip your arm, one into the sling. Take the other arm underneath, but wrap the blanket under you so that this arm is also held up in the sling. And now you can rest your hands on your belly. One of the things you may remember from our first class is that if we can make the extremities of our body warm, it can bring unexpected relief to our head. So putting socks on would be a great option for your feet. And having your hands tucked in and your arms held up by this blanket can go a long way in relieving whatever pressure might be coming in your head because the blood has to go so far out to your extremities. In restorative yoga poses, we're cultivating a kind of quieter, steadier place for ourselves. So even though you're working on staying still, you're not stuck. At any time, if you need to shift or adjust or change something about your position, you should do that. If you're prone to having not the sinus headaches like we've been talking a lot about tonight, but those kinds of headaches that come from bright light, the kinds of headaches that are agitated by being out in the sun, it's a good time to turn off your lights, to cover your eyes. Relax your whole body. But especially relax your face. Relax the weight of your head into your props. There's no special breath practices here. Just a smooth and steady and quieting set of exhalations. I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes here. Don't be alarmed if you don't hear my voice. I'm going to give you some quiet space where you can practice relaxing and softening into the support of the props. Start speaking again when it's time for us to switch our position out of this pose. Notice how your body feels as you're practicing this posture. If this pose feels supremely comfortable, this feels like the kind of pose that you want to stay in, you could absolutely stay and finish your practice in this position. But if you feel ready to change the shape of your body, to put yourself into something that's a little flatter for your head and torso, we'll talk you out of this pose. Definitely feel free to stay if you're very happy where you are. If you're coming out of this pose, gather up your legs and bring your feet flat onto the floor. Slide your arms out from under your blanket. Shift your body over onto your side. Maybe you'll roll all the way down onto the floor, or perhaps you'll just shift over, so you're sort of semi-supported on the bolster. Then use the support of your hands and your arms. Slowly guide your body back up into a seated position. I'm going to use similar props, but you're going to change the way they're organized on your mat. So take the blanket that had been supporting your head and put it at the other end of your yoga mat. Then arrange your bolster so that your bolster is flat on the floor, running parallel to the short end of the yoga mat. Put one of your rolled up blankets on top of the bolster and one rolled up blanket out beyond that, near the short edge of your yoga mat. When you lie down here, you'll have a blanket and bolster under your knees and a blanket under your heels. This fourth blanket will cover your body however that feels nice for you. Maybe you'll open it up to cover your feet and your legs, or perhaps you'll just put it over your belly. Once you get yourself settled, come to lie down on your back. Make sure the blanket under your head feels comfortable. Organize it in such a way that it supports your neck. You can even tuck it in around the side of your ears. Close your eyes. And let your whole body be soft and heavy. Rest into the floor and into your props. Relax your face and your head in Shavasana. attention back from wherever your mind might have been. Deepen your breath. And before you start moving your body, notice how your head feels. Start to add any movements that feel good and interesting for you. Little wiggles to your fingers and toes. Movements to your wrists and ankles. Bend at your elbows and your knees. Take your time, but whenever you're ready, roll over onto your side. Pause for a moment on your side with your chin in and your knees in. And then use the support of your hands. Use your arms. Push your body back up into your seated position. Close your eyes as you get back to your seat. Bring your attention to your head, especially to your sinuses, to your forehead. Notice your breath. Our work in this practice of yoga is about relieving suffering, the little discomforts and the big distresses. I hope that something in this class today or in these past few classes has been of use to you. As you join your palms together in front of your heart, it's our gesture of intention setting, our place where we remind ourselves why we come to this practice. And it's also a gesture of gratitude and honor for the practice itself, for the traditions and the wisdom that have offered us these tools and techniques. Singing the sound of Om allows us to express both our honor and our individual energies into the collective. Add your voice to mine to sing this Om with me. Or of course, you could just listen. Please exhale your breath. Then breathe in. May this practice help us find peace and ease. And may that be to the benefit of all beings everywhere. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti Om. Peace, peace, peace. Thanks everyone so much for practicing with me today and all of the days you've come to this work. I hope your headache pain is relieved or at least helped. I'll see y'all soon. Thanks.